Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the field. Get ready for a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
Shakedown.
Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.
What is going on, guys? It is the Philly Shakedown coming at you guys. Episode 17. 17 episodes already into it already. And with my co-host Philly 500. What's going on, bro?
What is happening, my man? How are you doing? I am doing great, but how are you doing?
I'm doing. Yeah, I've had a little accident before, but we're good though.
Yeah.
We got some stuff to talk about today. Obviously, you know that Eagles versus Patriots, 35-0. Obviously, Nick Sirianni kind of changing the pace of what he was doing before the game. Jalen Hurts getting sick, going to the hospital, but not knowing he was going to make too many changes. What did you think of Thursday night?
I mean, first of all, that was the worst preseason game I've ever remember watching with the Eagles. It was horrible.
Right.
Okay, and thank God Devonta Smith played because it gave us something positive to talk about. I didn't really understand the whole lineup thing, and some people trying to tell me, different reasons why, but I just didn't think if you're going to play if you're going to play the group of wide receivers, your starting receivers for a whole half, why not play the best offensive line with them and the whole offense with them for a half? Instead, if you're going to play all the backups, just play the backups. And I thought, they didn't do Flacco no favors. So I kind of didn't like the strategy there. They did the same thing on defense with the linebackers, right? They know defensive line, really no second-string defensive line. And then you had your starting linebackers played like most of the half. So I didn't like that part of it. But at the same time, I think there's way too much overreaction to the loss and the way that it happened. This does not mean that the Eagles are going to get blown out, be 3-13, 3-14 now, whatever it is. We have to keep it kind of in context. It wasn't a good performance. Maybe some of the backups, they need to play better. But also, think about this. A lot of those guys that were playing are not even going to be on this team. So I think we have to keep it in perspective.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot. I mean, even look at the chat. I know me and you streamed by ourselves of the game, and there was a lot of overreaction of it. All this teams would be bad. I mean, I think the only thing that's really in question right now is the depth of this team. I mean, the depth is probably, obviously there's a lot of guys not making the team, but you have to see what the depth you have. I mean, you talked about the lineups, how many backups were in the game. I mean, for Joe Flacco, for me, it just made no sense. But I understand what Nick Sirianni's doing. Like, he's taking these joint practices as they're like games, obviously. And they had a couple good days, really. I mean, they took over the Patriots for 2 days. But then, obviously, the guys were kind of banged up a little bit. You don't play them for this game. So I don't know what you really expected out of it, but it's not something that, Hurts was only going to play for 2 series anyway. So Hurts wasn't even going to play. So you're going to see more of Flacco anyway. But what do you think of Joe Flacco as a backup quarterback? Obviously, do you put much into this offensive line? Not, he kind of needs a perfect situation. Like, I don't know what you think of him as a quarterback right now.
I think he's a good quarterback who won a Super Bowl, who's old. And he's a backup, a capable backup of coming in, winning 1 or 2 games for you if need be during a season, if he has an offensive line in front of him that can protect him. But obviously, they couldn't protect him, and the rush bothered him a lot. It really did. So I think that he's capable in the right circumstances. What the scary part and the thing that we should be worried about, I think, and I think it's fair to worry, is the depth of this team. Because I don't know how deep they are at certain positions. And specifically, I'll say offensive line and I'll say defensive line. I don't know how deep they are there. And if you go on our recent history, we've had a lot of injuries at that position. So I think that's fair to worry about. But, then again, at the same time, I don't expect to have games where you're going to have completely your whole defensive line out at the same time either. So,
Yeah.
but as far as Flacco goes, I think he's a capable backup. He can win 1 or 2 games. He's not going to win it all by himself, but he can manage the game, I think. But, you got to have a line in front of him.
Yeah, no, I think you're right with the offensive defensive line. Like, I don't know how much depth you have behind with some of those guys. I thought Milton Williams, he had 2 holding penalties against him, so I think he would have took Mac Jones down for 1 play, and then the other play he was just taken out of it, but was chasing Mac Jones from behind. So I thought Milton Williams played good. I think he would have made a couple plays. Teron Jackson didn't really see much of anything. I thought the linebackers flew to the ball. I thought Alex Singleton, he was all over the field. They did a really, really good job. I don't know who's really making that first. Is Alex Singleton the guy? I mean, that's what I'm looking at.
Look, the thing with Alex Singleton that was impressive was he was playing with a backup defensive line in front of him. And he was getting through. I mean, baby arms Alex Singleton. I can't even call him baby arms anymore. I'm going to have to call him Popeye. You know what I mean? Small arms, big forearms. I don't know how he got it. But, you know what I mean? But Alex Singleton is good. I mean, he's really good. I thought Wilson was pretty good. I thought Sean Bradley stunk that game. Yeah. But I thought T.J. Edwards was decent. I thought those linebackers played pretty good, despite not having a good line in front of them.
Yeah, no, even with even Eric Wilson, another game where he could have made a couple yard loss, and he's missing these tackles. He's grabbing onto the guy in the backfield, missing these tackles. So that's something else you gotta look at. But I think you want to talk about no depth, Philly 500. We could probably guess that Zech McPherson did not play well, okay? This is a 4th-round pick with some competition, obviously, needs some guidance, and I don't know. I'm not going to, sway the guy down for one preseason game, but besides N'Keal Harry almost having a big reception when he hurting his shoulder on that play, that probably would have been a reception if he get hurt before he hit the ground. Zech McPherson did not play well, so you lose Darius Slay or Steven Nelson this season, you're going to have a huge issue with that. So
he was not only did he not play well, I mean, Belichick was picking on him. They went right after him. And it really exposed, that he's a rookie. I mean, I think the kid still has talent, but obviously he has a ways to go. No question about it. And, yeah, you got to wonder about the depth in the secondary. Kevon Wallace goes out again. He re-injures that groin, which is not good. And you wonder about the safety and the corner position in terms of depth. I think that's definitely true.
See, Timothy Looper said, hello, Philly, from an old Cowboy fan from Terrell, Texas. What's going on, bro?
Shout out to Timothy Looper, man. How you doing, buddy?
We got Blue City Empire Sports. Says, Joey, have the NFL app. I have no update. Joe Judge calling the cops on Sterling Shepard. If that was the case, my phone would be raining. Here's the thing with that video. I enjoyed making it because it was such a huge joke on the New York Giants. Like, you know what? Like teams get into training camp fights all the time, but I don't care if it was a troll account or not. I thought it was so funny that a video had to be made. And it sounds so Joe Judge-ish, with him and just like he likes seeing his guys fight and all the rumors of him like really enjoying it and fantasizing about it and everything like that. So I thought it was funny. It was more of a troll job video, but I just thought it was really funny. I thought it was great to put out news like that.
Yeah, total troll job video, which is working because you've upset many Giant fans. So mission accomplished.
Definitely. I mean, overall of this game, I mean, I know after the game we were kind of upset over what happened, but I mean, do you agree? I mean, how Nick Sirianni is using these joint practices as games, is that going to be enough? And do you think these guys are going to be prepared if they bench these guys the next 3 weeks, pretty much?
I think.
Do you even think they're playing them next week against the Jets?
You got to play them. I think you got to play your starters. I think you have to treat next game like a dress rehearsal, at least for a quarter and a half. I don't want to sit Jalen Hurts. I think he needs reps. I think these guys all need reps, man. They got to play. I don't know if they will play though. That's the thing. But I would play them.
My opinion, I think they're not playing. I don't think they're. That's the problem. If
you go based upon what Sirianni said, it sounds like he views practice reps as game reps. I disagree with him there. because he says you got to win every day. We win every day. But when you come to the game, you have to have that same attitude. And in preseason, to me, you got to take those games a little more serious than you do practice.
Well, it's not even just that, but you're not hitting your quarterback. Like, you don't know if something is a sack. You don't know if that your quarterback is getting hit. Like, you need to see your quarterback move in the pocket. Like, if you're not hitting the quarterback, like, it's going to affect throws. Right. You want to see how this guy does. You want to see how these quarterbacks do on pressure. So that's why the whole practice thing, it works to a certain extent, but the overall view of it is it's not a game. You're not going to it as a game. That's the. I mean, they're looking at it like that, or the players think they're in a game like that. It's a game-like situation, but when it comes down to it, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. So, Chris Scott says, guys will beat Atlanta 31-17. Guarantee we win by double digits. Depth was wise. O-line, D-line are fine. Linebackers in the secondary is lacking depth big time. Wide receiver depth isn't as good as I thought. I mean, with the wide receiver depth, I don't know. I think we're good on that. What's wrong?
No. Because I have a video I'm probably going to put out tonight, because I like putting out late Saturday night videos because I like to sleep in Sunday morning. But I got a video, and it's going to talk about Andre Dillard and the possible him getting shot. But it's also going to talk about the propaganda that has started. The J.J. Arcega-Whiteside propaganda, because this is real and this is happening. You've heard reports lately, this past week, that Travis Fulgham isn't doing anything kick. Travis Fulgham is quiet. They're disappointed by Travis Fulgham. They thought they were going to get more of Travis Fulgham. While you're hearing J.J. Arcega-Whiteside looked okay today. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside looked good today. And this is so when they cut Fulgham and keep Whiteside, everybody's going to come to Philly 500 and say, well, he had a good camp. No, this is propaganda. This is bullcrap. They want to keep J.J. Arcega-Whiteside because he's a second-round pick. That's why. And they're trying to justify it. Get ready for this. I do a video on this. I go off a little bit because I see this happening. I don't know that we have depth at wide receiver, because you got Reagor, Watkins, and Devonta Smith. They're going to be your starters. There's no question. You got Greg Ward Jr. I think he's okay and capable. But who do I have after that? Who? I mean, Hightower has been non-existent because he's been hurt. Fulgham they've been disappointed. And then I got J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to bail us out. Oh, man. I'm really worried about this. I'm really worried they're going to keep Whiteside. I'm going to be pissed off if they do.
I really hope not. I mean, I don't know what that's about. I mean, look, Travis Fulgham with no snap, with no reps this week in a game and last week's preseason game. I mean, maybe he was on the field. I think he was on the field, but they never targeted him once. I think JJ was only targeted once against the Steelers. So I really hope that I'd rather take a hurt John Hightower is better than a fully healthy JJ.
But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'm saying this. Besides all the propaganda coming out, in the other game, Whiteside had 8 snaps. They took him out after 8 snaps. They played all their receivers for a half, but him out after 8 snaps. Hightower got more snaps than him. I think Greg Ward got more snaps. So to me, you only take the guy out if you want to protect him, if you think he's making his team. That's, to me, what they're saying is he's higher on the depth chart than all those guys.
Yeah, but
I hope I'm wrong.
But they're taking more guys. But it's not just him they're taking out. Is he the only guy that they're taking out off the field that's making you believe that they're protecting him to be on the active roster?
It's based upon the snaps he got during the last game. Let me see if I can find it here. Hold up. Let me get it here. I got it right here because I just did a video on this. All right. So Fulgham took 14 snaps, 26% of the offensive plays. Right. Reagor had 22. Devonta Smith had 26. Watkins had 30. Those starters played the first half, right? Yeah. But then here you got J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 8 snaps, 15%. Why is he getting 15%? Greg Ward actually got 4 snaps. So Greg Ward got less than him. But to me, if you look at the guys all with low snaps, you had Ertz, 3 snaps. Miles Sanders, 4 snaps. Dallas Goedert, 4 snaps. Greg Ward, 4 snaps. Sayamalu, 6 snaps. Mulata, 6 snaps. Howard, 6 snaps. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 8 snaps. To me, that sounds like, and I'm just saying, it sounds like they have him higher on the depth chart than any of us think that they should. That's what it tells me.
Yeah, I don't know. You're keeping how many receivers? You're keeping 5, and that's what only if you. And then what? What are they doing with those 2 extra roster spots? That's going to be the next question of do they keep an extra receiver?
I think they're keeping 3 tight ends, and they're keeping an extra running back.
So 4.
So 3 tight ends and what? 5 running backs.
5 running backs.
Or they're gonna keep Hightower, and they're gonna keep Ortega-Whiteside and let Fulgham go. It don't sound good to me. I'm just saying, if you just put everything together, you look at what they're saying about Whiteside. At the same time, they're saying something about Fulgham. Why is that coming out now? Then Ortega-Whiteside only gets 8 snaps. To me, I'm suspect of that. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know, man. To me, that don't sound good.
I don't. Maybe it's a back end of the roster type thing. Maybe they're giving him more. Maybe they gave him more snaps as to. I don't know. Just I don't know what to say about it because they could just be seeing what he could do. You know what I mean? They want to get as much out of these guys as possible. I mean, but he didn't. If he's not getting that many snaps, then does it mean that? That's what I don't want to happen.
I always take, in a situation like this, I take the way that the Eagles played, no one of their starting offensive line, but only Sayamalu Mulata, who played 6 snaps, right? I take the few snaps to mean that they're protecting those guys who they think are going to make the team, and they were letting everybody else play, except for the wide receivers who they played the starters. However, they didn't play Ortega-Whiteside, and I don't know if that's because he is going to make it or because he's really far on his depth chart. We'll find out next week, but to me, it doesn't sound good. Has he done enough
at practice though? That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think so. Who is he's faced? Like even beginning of training camp, he was facing off against Josiah Scott lining up in the slot, and he got a couple catches off him. But I mean, how much is that worth at the end of the day?
I don't know. Let's review Ortega-Whiteside running a route. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn around. Play's over. He stinks. Dude.
But even the one snap during the Steelers game, he literally that corner was in front of him the whole time. Like he read the route. He was fully covered. So I don't get it. I'm
telling you, be prepared that Ortega-Whiteside makes this team. I'm just saying, I hope not, but yeah, I'm getting a little nervous.
So you're telling me...
I'm telling you, Fulgham needs to go out and kill it one night. He needs to go out and kill it and prove that you can't cut him.
So what is all the rumors on Travis Fulgham like? I guess, is he declining this year because he's got too much success in front of him? He's not the guy anymore? I don't know.
I'm just here. They're just saying that he's not really doing anything. There's not much of anything to talk about. He's very quiet. He doesn't stand out. They thought that they were going to see more from him. These were the reports that were out all this week about him.
Right.
At the same time, it's like, and J.J. Ortega-Whiteside had a nice day of practice. He looks much faster. Same crap we heard last year.
Yeah. Yeah, and it didn't go anywhere. Obviously, didn't know how to use some of these players in the scheme and didn't know how to put them in the right position to win football games last year. Totally different story. But I think, the positives, I mean, at this point, we'll just wait and see. And hopefully John Hightower and Travis Fulgham do something because, and really not Hightower's fault, had a groin injury, whatever it is, and he just got snaps the other day. So hopefully with these joint practices, we'll see a lot more from hopefully Fulgham. I mean, I don't think Fulgham's really done anything, and I think for the I think just since the open practice, he made a nice catch there, and really beginning of training camp, because really we haven't heard anything. It's always Quez, it's always Reagor, and it's always now Devonta Smith. So there's nothing really else coming out of it right now. But
no,
it's.
I'm just saying, dude. I don't want to be the. I'm just saying, just keep your. Just something to watch. Because it could happen.
Yeah, you're not being negative, and you're not being. It's realistic.
I'm not trying to be negative. I'm reading the tea leaves right now. When I hear the Philly media start to say something like that, and then they follow up with another story that kind of like correlates a idea, and then I look at the guy gets 8 snaps, I start to wonder.
Yeah, it's alarming. I mean, so we'll just wait and see. I mean, we got the joint practice with the Jets, so it should be interesting to see what happens this coming week. We have 195 people in the chat, guys. Guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Guys haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. It helps out the channel a lot. If you haven't subscribed to Philly 500, I don't know what rock you're living under, but his link is in the description below. We do this every Saturday at 9 p.m. Next month, it's going to change. 500 is going to take the first 2 weeks, and I'm going to take the last 2 weeks because I'm going to be at the opener. It kind of messed up. Usually we alternate channels every week, so most likely the second week of next month, I'm going to be at a hotel in Philadelphia, getting ready for the game Saturday night. So I'll probably be at the hotel. Obviously, Philly 500 will be hosting it that week, so things are going to change up a little bit, but.
He's going to be at a hotel doing God knows what.
I don't know. But the matrimonial
matrimonial duty must be done. Pull out those little alcohol things. Drink a few of those.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I want to talk about, there was a couple other guys that did well. I think Jack Stahl got into the game, tight end Jack Stahl got into the game a couple times, broke 2 tackles, a tight end that broke 2 tackles. If you guys remember, Jack Stahl was undrafted, and they paid him the most undrafted money. They actually gave him the most money as an undrafted free agent. So Jack Stahl broke a couple tackles for a first down. I think he got another first down on top. I think it was only like 2 steps. 2 possessions, but it was pretty good, though. I want to see more after Tyree Jackson. That was unfortunate with Tyree Jackson, man. Like, you got to put him on the shelf. Do you agree? Put him on the shelf, let him wait out a little bit.
You can't get rid of Tyree Jackson. You'll regret that. They'll regret that so much if they do, because he's so talented and he's so raw. You need to keep him. To me, you stash him on IR. Just do it and be done with it, dude. You got to keep him. And, I do not let him go, No,
I wouldn't either. I think we should talk about the man of the hour, which Devonta Smith. And you know what? For the amount of snaps playing for a whole half, I don't think we expected him to play that long, period. So an MCL sprain, he seemed like he was perfectly fine. So what did you see at Devonta Smith there? And obviously watching the tape over and over again, what did you see from Devonta Smith Thursday night?
Well, you want the good or the bad first?
Do the bad first.
All right, so let's talk about. I thought there were 2 balls he dropped, okay, and I don't really even hold it against him because I thought first game could be a little nervous, a little rusty, all those kind of things. There was a back shoulder throw that Flacco made. May not have been the most perfect throw, but even Devonta Smith said the problem was he didn't get his head around fast enough. To me, that just comes with rust and reps, and he should be fine. The other one, the ball got knocked out. Those were 2 passes he dropped. Okay, he should catch. However, the good thing is he wind up starting to catch balls, started getting into a rhythm, and he started to dominate. And if you look at him on just about every play, he's always open. His footwork and his route running is absolutely insane. You could watch it all day long. It's like a ballet. And I don't know how people are going to be able to jam him up on the line running like that. It's going to be very hard. You can't hit a 175-pound guy if you can't touch him. I think Devonta Smith is going to have a monster year. This is what I've been saying about Devonta Smith all along. Top 4 player in this draft. He did not disappoint me at all. I am so thrilled with Devonta Smith, and I couldn't be more happy. I thought his route running is absolutely insane. There were some times where he was wide open, and he could have had touchdowns. He could have had stuff. I think he's going to be scary for teams. And I think Atlanta's in for a lot of trouble week 1 against him.
Yeah, I agree. And I think even on the 4th down play, wide open across the middle, he was open a lot of times. So if you rewatch the tape, obviously you have to just kind of pause it a little bit and see where Devonta Smith is on the field. But his route running, like you said, I don't think this man is going to get touched. Like if I don't think any defender is really going to touch him if he's in open. I mean, even throwing to him in open space and the way he turns after the catch, even that one where he didn't get the first down, he was close to it when Flacco threw that quick up the middle. I thought it was great. I mean, just seeing his route running was just amazing. I know this was just a preseason game that had no offensive line. Joe Flacco was getting pressured and had to get rid of the ball real easily, but it's going to look really nice. I mean, once you get your offensive line back, you get the tight ends back. I mean, you get your whole offense back into rhythm. And for week one is they're going to have to do not play press on Devonta Smith. I'm telling you right now. That's all I got to say.
I hope they do.
It's not going to work out for you. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And plus, you have Reagor. Plus, you have Quez Watkins. There's a lot of speed with this wide receiver core, so it should be really interesting.
Yeah, he's going to be a stud. I really think he's going to be offensive rookie. He could very well be offensive rookie of the year. I won't say rookie of the year only because it always seems like it goes to quarterbacks. But offensive rookie of the year, I think he could definitely do it. I think he could get over 1,000 yards. I think he's going to break Eagle wide receiver rookie records. I think all that's going to happen. I think that this dude is the real deal. And, what I saw out of him, I thought was fantastic. Just the upside with that guy is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, obviously, it's as advertised. So, and I feel like it really is. Like, and you could tell, like the offense was so messed up that game because of all the substitutions we had. So now you look at it and you're saying, wow, like the route running is there, but I know it's going to be better once this whole offense is on the field week one. I think this team is going to be ready. And
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
And Hurts has got more of a connection with Devonta Smith also, so he's going to have that advantage early on. I think Reagor has played really well since Sirianni laid into his ass. He has been a different player. He has come off different. And then Quez Watkins should have had a touchdown. He should have had a touchdown. The fourth down play, they went for it, and Flacco underthrew him. If he throws that ball better, it's over his shoulder. It's a touchdown. Quez,
right.
That was the only pass he had to him thrown that whole game.
So that one to Quez Watkins where he was kind of almost getting double, was there a window there where Flacco should have threw it a little earlier to Quez that was going towards the end zone? I know because Devonta was open on that play as well, but could he have fit that ball to Quez right there?
If he throws that ball further out in front of him, it's a touchdown. There was nobody to cover him. He underthrew that ball. Maybe he could have thrown it earlier, but it just was a bad throw by Flacco.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I saw some pictures, I saw some, and I went through the videos as well, and he was good. I mean, just the ball was thrown a little bit too late. So we got Boys for Life. He is a cowboy YouTuber, cool guy, very humble. Known him for a long time. Says,
Boys for Life, huh?
Boys for Life.
I don't know about you, brother.
So do y'all feel comfortable with the team as a whole, or are you scared if one guy goes down?
Yeah, I do worry about the injuries, but it's not so much one guy going down. It's when you have like multiple, like when you have Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson, you're missing the whole side of your right side of your line. Those are the kind of things that I worry about. I would say secondary though, if you do lose one guy, I do think it's a problem.
Yeah, this is why, like we say, and we always say this, and we say this first in that draft. Okay, that second round pick, you need your first two picks should be on the field.
Do you know who's? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Do you know who looks fantastic right now?
Who?
Do you know who is all over the place, dominating? JOK. I don't know if you saw him in that game that they played the other day. Guy was fantastic. I'm like, oh my God, that's what we need on defense.
Yeah, he's getting off blocks and he's making tackles in the backfield and he's very physical because a lot of guys are saying how undersized he is and all that. So,
yep.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. We heard about the heart condition stuff. We heard about all that during the draft, during the live stream of the draft, and we were waiting for that pick. We're like, all right, we're waiting for JOK, but obviously we were either looking for JOK in the second round or looking for Asante Samuel Jr., which didn't happen. But we're not saying, and we'll say this over and over again, we're not saying that we don't like the Landerson pick. High upside, high ceiling. The problem is that they really needed a cornerback. They really needed needed a starter with the second pick. They got good value out of that pick, but we don't know that yet until next year Jason Kelce retires and Landon Dickerson becomes the starting center. So my next question to you is this. If the offensive line starts to get hurt, because obviously that right side is definitely, Brandon Brooks with two Achilles, not even 2 days of training camp, he's already got a hamstring injury, and now he's healthy again, but how long is that going to last? And obviously Lane Johnson with these ankle injuries the past couple seasons. So,
right.
So do you put Landon Dickerson in there if you really have to? Is Howie said at the draft that they're not redshirting him this year, but that was a while ago. So do you think that they will put him in there if they have to?
I think they will put him in the game if they have to. I would not, though. Me personally, I'm redshirting him. I'm not playing him this year because I have to be more concerned about the future with him. But I do think that they would redshirt him. The question is, do they really want to move him to guard or keep him at center? Because, you're going to have a guy making a bunch of transitions over the next few years. That's the question, I don't know. It's a good question. I hope it doesn't come to that. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. I hope we don't have to deal with that situation.
No, I don't either. So what are you saying? Are you saying just say with the offensive line this year, right? If Brandon Brooks gets injured and misses not the whole season, but he misses a lot of time, do you look for a trade next year at this point?
Brandon Brooks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If he gets hurt again, I move on from him. I think you have to. I may move on from Fletcher Cox next year too. I mean, you got to start looking at the salary and some of these guys. So I mean, to me, it's all about the production. If these guys don't produce and the guy's hurt again, okay, then yeah, it's time to get rid of them. I think.
Yeah, true that. We have a super chat from John. Gale says, like you just said, O-line got to stay healthy. Was getting 2020 flashbacks Thursday. Don't need Hurts running for life all game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day, if Hurts did play a couple series, I mean, I know the guy needs snaps, but does he need to be running for his life every play and seeing to make himself? I don't know.
Well, were the Eagles going to play the starters if he plays? See, if Hurts
I don't think
played,
so.
Then I would. Then why play him? See, this becomes a conspiracy theory. A lot of people in my stream thought that Hurts was pulled last second for another reason, and it wasn't because he was really hurt. Okay, and some thought maybe Howie Roseman called down and said, "Don't play him. If you're not going to play your starting lineup, why risk the injury of your quarterback?" To me, if Hurts plays, your number one line has to play. Until he comes out, they have to be in.
How are you supposed to give good looks? It's like you put in one thing that you need to see produced, but then you take away everything else. So you have no balance in what your court. How are you supposed to evaluate your quarterback when you don't have your starting offensive line? So that was the plan. And so if that was the plan, then I don't know. Because if they're treating these joint practices like they're actual games, then to me it just makes no sense why he made it. Look, I understand why he did it. His philosophy is a little different because he's treating I'm going to say it over. I feel like I said it already 5 times. He's treating the joint practices like actual games. And if that's the case, then I don't think they're playing anybody next week. If this team comes out slow and sluggish by week 1, it's going to be on Nick. It's not on the players. It's on Nick and his coaching. It's on Nick because Nick has final say and whatever he's brought ideas what they should do. But if they look slow and sluggish week 1, and I hope they don't, and Nick, you better hope that hopefully we're just not seeing it, but I hope we're okay. That's all I got to say.
What I would have liked him to do is I would have liked week 2 to be treated as a dress rehearsal, okay, for a half. You guys play a half. Now, if Hurts comes out because he's sick and he says, you know what, we're not going to treat this like a rehearsal anymore. Let's treat next week like the dress rehearsal. Then don't play all those receivers that long. Don't play all your starting linebackers that long. Play it like, it's the last preseason game where you don't play anybody. Play next week like a dress rehearsal. That's what I didn't like. I don't understand how you can play Hurts and not start that offensive line. They got to play. And I think they all need reps. I do. I don't like this idea of not getting reps. I just don't. And I don't believe that practice is the same thing.
No, Every team deals with it differently. Every team either starts their starters, don't start their starters. Like every team does it differently around the league. So, I mean, for us, like this is a pivotal year. Like you got to find your building block pieces this year. You potentially could have 3 first-round picks if that happens, or you have two 1s and 2 2s next year. You got to see what your quarterback has, and obviously, you got to make sure you're prepared because if your quarterback doesn't play well this year, then you have to trade for a quarterback, or you have to go into the draft and waste a first-round pick. If you don't have the third, then that's one. You have one first-rounder left. So. There's a lot going on here, but really have to they really have to figure it out. And I'm hoping he's right, but I don't know.
I think all these Giant fans are pissed at you.
They are. That's what a troll. I don't make troll job videos, I really don't, but that one just had to come out. It had to come out. If nobody knows that's a troll job video, obviously.
He was trolling, guys. He knows that wasn't a real story. We know we don't know how smart Joe Judge is, but we know he's not that dumb. He just run your route, run some laps, run the lap. Yeah.
We got LeBron saying Cox and Graham got to 2 years left. We had a middle linebacker since Andy Reid. Cornerbacks and free safety is terrible. I love my Eagles, but defense is done. Do you think they've done enough at the linebacker position where who's really standing out to you? Is there enough depth at linebacker behind the starters right now?
When I talk about depth, it's not even really offensive. I do think there's some depth offensively, right? It's the defense depth that I really worry about. And mainly the linebackers in the secondary, because I think Singleton, Edwards, and Wilson, I think they're going to be your starters, right? I didn't really see much from anybody else. Davion Taylor's hurt again. Sean Bradley, I thought, played great week 1 preseason. I thought he played really bad this past Thursday. So I don't know what depth you have at linebacker. I don't know what depth you have at secondary. Kevon Wallace is hurt again with a groin. He re-injured the same injury he had. Should never have come back so early. That's the kind of injury. It's like a hamstring. You can't rush that injury back. You have to be 100% recovered from that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was like, couldn't, but he made a nice tackle in the backfield. He made a nice physical tackle in the backfield. It looked really good. Came in and then he got hurt again. So now you have to rely on Rodney McLeod coming back week 1 from this ACL, and that's, we're at this stage now where. We're starting to look at this roster and say there's positions where there's not enough depth, and at least.
Yeah, and you're not going to fix it all in 1 year, too. That's what we have to understand.
This is what the fans have to understand, because every year it's like everything has to be 100%. Everything has to get done. Like people during the game were saying in the comment section, in the live section, they were kind of like, "Oh, well, our depth is horrible. Depth is horrible." I'm like, your fourth strings, some of your fourth, fifth stringers are how far it's going to go at the end of the fourth quarter. You're telling me our depth is bad. Obviously, half these guys aren't going to make the team, but it's almost impossible to have every bit of depth at every position to be 100% fine. It's you know how many guys you have to sign, or how many trades you have to make for that to even happen. So people need to relax on that. It's not going to be perfect. You know.
Yeah, I agree. It takes time to build that depth, and it's not going to happen all in 1 year. So you're going to have spots like the secondary. You have spots like linebacker that you're going to need depth. I would have liked to see them get JOK. They could have had a lot of depth that you added him, but it is what it is,
Yeah. Got to obey crazy with the super chat. Appreciate it, man. It says, do you think Nick doesn't play starters because he doesn't want to show much?
No, because it's not. You could put your backups in and show a lot. It depends what you call. It's the way you call the game. It's how he's calling it. You could have your starters in and show nothing. You could have your backups in and show everything you have in your playbook. It depends what you call and how you call. Like Gannon doesn't blitz at all. Like I haven't seen the Eagles run one blitz this preseason. You hold things back like that. Not playing the starters does not affect whether or not he shows his playbook.
Yeah, and I understand, like, look, I don't think I don't think you have to give away your whole offense. I mean, I think you want to give good looks, but at the same time, like, you don't want to give away every play that you have in your playbook. That's definite. So, I mean, I see them hiding some things that they don't want to really unveil, because I think with these new coaches, like Nick Sirianni has a huge advantage this season because there's not really a blueprint too much. They'll take some preseason games, but how far is that going to go with looking at tape? I mean, obviously, after he plays a few games, then we'll have a little bit of an idea what Nick does, but I think he's really going to scheme very well this year and put his players in the right position, use them to their strengths like he said he's going to. I just think he really has, he definitely has an advantage this season going into games because he can literally do anything, especially teams that haven't seen everything from Nick Sirianni. Obviously, he's not been here for a whole year yet, so you don't have an idea. So I think there's definitely something good with that. But
yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
LeBron says the coach of the defense don't know what's going on. We won 4 games last season. Shaking my head in preseason, 35-0. Come on, we're our bad. I wouldn't take that game. Look, 35-0 was after a while it was 13-0. Then we started moving some guys around, and I didn't want to take it too serious. Like, I don't really care if we lose a preseason game, but at the same time, 35-0, you couldn't get over the 50-yard line. I mean, that's how bad it was. Your defense was gassed. I mean, they were tired. 3 and out. Your defense was on the field the whole time, and there's only so much you could do. You know what I mean? So,
I don't honestly. I gotta tell you, I don't care about the score. It could have been 80-0. To me, it's who played and who didn't play. How many snaps did they get? Like, for example, the starting offensive line for the New England Patriots played the first 3 series. They played the first 3 series. I think they scored on all 3 of those series. The Eagles weren't even playing their backup defensive line. People go, oh, well, they played up their second string. They didn't. There was no Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett. One of those guys is a second string. Ryan Kerrigan did not play. So you're essentially playing with your third string guys. And then same with the offensive line. So if you take the offensive and defensive line, the 2 strengths of the Eagles, or what's supposed to be their strength, no starting quarterback, and you don't play, and they're playing their starting offensive line, starting defensive line for 3-4 series, you're going to be down 19-0 really quick. So to me, the score bothers me that we didn't score anything, and there's places and things I'm concerned about depth wise, but I don't get caught up with the score in preseason. I really don't.
No, I don't either. I just want at least something. I mean, at least a little bit of a jolt, at least something that gets our attention a little bit. I mean, we saw absolutely nothing.
If all the starters were playing and we had all our starters out for the first half and it was still 35-0, I would be a little more concerned. But you didn't have a lot of guys that are big factors on this team playing. You just didn't. So, it's hard to. I mean, look, here's an example. Who was it? Herbig at center? Was Herbig at center?
Yep.
For that snap over Flacco's head?
Yep.
So he snaps over his head. Why Flacco tries to pick it up?
Why did he try to set his feet? He picks the ball up, like, jump on the ball. He just gave away a touchdown. He gets the ball. He tries to set his feet back up. What are you gonna do? Throw 90 yards? Like, what are you trying to do? So
that's 7 points right there. You gave a team based upon your backups.
Right.
So I mean, we got to keep it in perspective. It's
got to be realistic.
Embarrassing. Yeah.
Now, so how many snaps did Herbig play at center last week? Because some people said he played center last week.
Herbig played 100% of the game.
Okay.
He played 100% of the snaps on offense. So I don't know if he played center, they moved to guard or what, but he played. He led the whole Eagle team in snap count. He played every down, the whole game.
Yeah.
So they want to take a big look at Herbig. That's what that tells me.
Yeah, and obviously because they released Justiga, which he was the backup to Kelsey last year. Got maybe a snap or two when Kelsey went out for a couple snaps, but that was pretty much it. So
I see Herbig better as a guard though than a center.
No, I do too. I mean, I don't know how he's going to do against if there's a nose tackle on that. There's guys line up right in front of him. I don't know. I think he can handle. He is physical. He was gassed as well. He was in there for a while. They had to take him out. They had to put him back in. So I mean, he was gassed as well.
So let me give you guys the top 4 the top 4 and leaders in offense snap counts, okay? Herbig had 100% of the snap, okay? Matt Pryor, 87%. He stinks. Toth, 79%. And then Opeta, 66% of the snaps. Those were your snap leaders on offense. What do you think is going to happen?
Here's another one that's probably going to be like a what the F moment, right? Why was Dillard sitting out? Is Dillard...
He's hurt again, I think.
I
think he's still hurt.
He's still hurt.
His vagina hurts.
Still hurt? That's crazy. That's crazy, though.
Yeah, I think they're going to trade him. They're apparently they're getting a lot of calls about Dillard right now. I think he's getting traded. What
do you think? What's a realistic number?
I don't know. I have no idea. What is the team? Maybe you get a 4th or a 3rd, maybe a conditional 3rd. I don't know.
That's a steal.
What can you get for him? If anybody thinks you're going to get a 1st or a 2nd, I think is crazy. Why would anybody give you that for him?
Unless there's another team that really is like, we could turn this guy's career around. That's all I can really take out of it. What does he do that's good? You don't know because he hasn't really hit the field. He's hurt in every preseason, every offseason, every training camp. He got hurt the same time. After a couple of reps, he got hurt again. So
I think Chicago may be interested, even though they got Peters. They may be interested after the shot Fields took today. Did you see that?
Oh, that was bad. That's a that's a flag, isn't it? That hit?
Yeah, it was a flag because he hit it in the helmet. But to me, that should be legal. That's to me, that's old school football right there.
Oh yeah, you don't see those. You don't see those every day. Yeah, that's crazy. It's I don't know. It's oh my god, this is crazy. Turtle with Super Chat, what's going on? Says, so curious to see what we do for the last preseason game. Definitely no expectations. Starters? No starters?
I hope we get starters.
Idea.
I hope they play a half. That's what I hope, but I'm not counting on it. They got open practices with the Jets this week, right? Like they got practice with the Jets.
Yeah.
So they're going to wind up saying that was their preseason game. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, no, to me, I just don't think they're. I think he's resting everybody till. I just don't see it. They benched their it was already enough that Hurts wasn't playing, and that was fine. Look, if someone has to go to the hospital, I don't care if it's a game or whatever. Your health is first before anything. I wouldn't care. It is what it is. But when it comes down to not only your offensive line is already going to be out, but why did they just bench their defensive line plus their corners on top? At least keep a corner in there. At least keep one. At least not Hargrave and Cox. Maybe just Hargrave. I don't know, something to at least mix up a couple starters in there. And you totally depleted your team for that game for whatever look you're trying to get. And the look they were trying to get was they want to see the back end of their roster. They want to give the back end of their roster a lot of steps. And obviously they couldn't do anything. Defensively or offensively, they couldn't do anything. So that's why this, we already know the players that can't play. Like even with Matt Pryor on the offensive line, Matt Pryor is just, God, he's horrible. 2 holding penalties. He can't block, period. I don't trust him on the right side. Just get rid of him. At this point, it makes no sense.
87% of the snaps. Okay, he took 87% on defense. Leo led the way for the Eagles on defense with 46% of snaps. Steven Nelson played 9 snaps. Maddox played 9 snaps. They were out of the game in one drive. 2 drives.
I didn't even know they both played because they were targeting McPherson so much. It totally took me out of disbelief what was going on.
Yeah, you had Leo, Edwards, Epps, Arnold, Seymour, and Johnson all with the most snaps on defense. That's what we were playing with, Yeah.
Guys, we got 252 people in the chat. Appreciate everybody being here for the Philly Shakedown Podcast, episode 17. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you guys haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. We do cover the Eagles all year round and cover everything. If you guys haven't subscribed to my co-host, Philly 500, link is in the description below. You will not be disappointed. So we do this every Saturday. Then when the season comes, we already kind of have a plan now of what we're doing. So we're going to be doing a stream Saturday night and then we're going to be doing a late stream Sunday night. So that's what's going to happen because we're both going to be streaming the games ourselves, and then we're going to have our post games. We're going to do a kind of like a time limit on that, see how that goes, and then we're going to meet up for a late night Philly Shakedown podcast on Sunday. So it's going to be pretty much 4 streams on the weekend, which is going to be real busy. So,
for you guys that are having those late nights, can't sleep, thinking the Eagles, it's on your mind. We're going to be right there with you, talking about it and bitching about it, and hopefully celebrating.
Exactly. Right.
I think we're going to start off 2-0, though. I do think we start off 2-0. I think the Eagles beat Atlanta and beat the Niners. I think Dallas loses the first 2 games.
So what? Does Tampa and who? Who are they playing?
Tampa. They got to play Tampa and the Chargers on the road.
Yeah, Chargers look pretty good this year.
Yeah.
They look really good this year.
I got Mark Holmes sweating bullets right now about Dak. I'm getting texts now. I'm starting to get a little worried about Dak Prescott. Yeah, you better be.
Yeah, because they're not playing him till the first game, so obviously that shoulder's not good right now. It's not.
Way worse than they thought.
I don't care. See, practice. We just talked about the Eagles' practice, right? I don't care all these reports. Oh, Dak looks really good. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it looks good. But when this guy gets hit in his legs, or when real stuff starts to happen during games, it ain't gonna look good.
Yeah, well, they were talking about, and this always happens with guys with big serious injuries. That's why I always say you got to be careful of a guy coming off of a big injury that following year. It usually takes over a year to come back. They're saying that there's some things with his mechanics that may have been off that caused the shoulder problem. He's throwing differently, leaning off his wrong foot, doing things a little differently because he's trying to protect the ankle. That happens with guys coming back from ACLs and things like that. We saw it with Carson Wentz too. So that year back after a major injury, sometimes guys are not, they're not at their best.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It takes more than like an off season. It takes months and months to get to 100%. Just because plus you need game time reps. Practice. Joint practice reps are much different than game time reps. So it takes more time.
And these are big injuries. I mean, these are serious injuries. His ankle was like a pretzel, like cut in half, snapped. Carson's foot goes.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah, and it depends whether they want, they rush back and sometimes you rush back. There's a huge risk with rushing back, so you better hope you get protected. You better hope you don't make the worst is when you have a non-physical injury where you could just that's it. That's all it takes.
I say let Ben DiNucci do his thing. Give him the starting gig week 1.
Dank says, you guys are awesome. Dank Squad. Appreciate it, bro.
Much love
to you, bro. The truth says, will Jalen Reagor play in the slot?
I think so.
Go ahead. You do.
I think he does, but not all the time. I just think most of his snaps will be in the slot, but I don't think he's specifically always going to be stuck in the slot. I think they'll move him around.
Yeah, now with Quez kind of coming up now, do you think that Greg Ward is going to come in on certain situations, maybe red zone, maybe third down, something like that, if that's the case, and kind of share it with Reagor a little bit? Or
yeah, I do. I think he's your 4th receiver right now. I think Ward's your 4th receiver. Your 5th receiver, I don't want to say who I think it is because I don't want it to be. I hope it's Fulgham or Hightower, but I don't know right now, man.
We didn't really touch on it earlier, but Jalen Reagor at joint practices seems like after he got chewed out after that day by Nick Sirianni, he's just turned a corner. Like, I know it's just joint practice, but he's been really good.
I think even in the game the other night, there was a couple times where he's open. He is open, and the one pass, the pass that got picked off, it was a 4th down pass to Reagor. Reagor was covered. Like you can't blame Reagor on that at all. And they were actually he was holding Reagor, but I don't know how Flacco even threw that to him.
He held his left arm. I think he held his left arm. His left arm was totally held. Yeah,
there was nothing Reagor could do there. It was a stupid throw. I think Reagor has woken up, dude. I think Sirianni woke his ass up, and I think Reagor's going to be. Everybody gives up on Reagor after 1 year. I say there's no way I'm giving up on a wide receiver after 1 year.
If you're giving up, on Jalen Reagor after one season, that season we had last year, you might as well give up on every player because that's how bad everybody else played at that point. So how are you?
Yeah, well, look. Here's the thing. You had Reagor gets drafted, no OTAs, no rookie minicamp, no training camp, no preseason. Then he got to play with Doug Peterson. Does not know how to use him. Okay, does not know how to use him. Does not know how to build his confidence, develop him, get him out there, use him in certain ways. Then he has injuries right during the season. So, I mean, really, I don't know what to expect from him. After 1 year. Yeah, sure, a guy like Justin Jefferson goes out and kills it, but every guy learns a little differently, and you got to give a guy a few years to try to figure out what's going on. So there's no way I'm giving up on Reagor just yet.
It doesn't matter. And do you think you'd get this? And the question is, do you think that you would get this much production out of your receivers this year? If Doug was still here, do you think you would have got this much production in this offseason? No, not by a long shot.
And here's a prediction for you. I'm going to give you a red-hot prediction right now. Week 1, Jalen Reagor will have a punt return for a touchdown. Punt return for a touchdown because he should have been on special teams a year ago. Mm-hmm. And they're going to use him this year on special teams. He will get a touchdown on a punt.
You know who they put back in punt returns last game? Greg Ward was back there.
Yeah,
again.
But they didn't. But they were playing backups. I think.
Yeah,
they
I know.
Use Reagor because they were. But I think in the regular season, I think Reagor's going to be there for punt returns. I think he's going to return one, week 1 versus Atlanta. That's going to break the game open. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I mean. And look, you can go back to these other drafts. It doesn't matter if the Eagles drafted DK Metcalf or Justin Jefferson. Like, do you honestly think they would be as productive on this roster and put them in the right position? You think this coaching staff would have got them to their full maximized potential on the field? Like, this is why, like, Eagles fans just need to get over it. Like, I like what we have right now. Just keep what we have. Like, this is a new era now. Like, this is the first time in years, okay? This is the first time in years when we actually had a draft, had in some free agents, and we've seen production from a lot of these draft picks. So you can't complain what's going on right now. So if you think that, look, you draft J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, it was a bad pick, period, point blank, period, okay? You missed out on A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin. You missed out on a lot of guys. This is the worst receiver from the draft. I don't know what they saw in him. I guess it was like an Alshon Jeffrey type, possession guy that was a little bit more swiftier. I don't know. But to give him another chance is a slap in the face. And I don't know, look, I mean, it's crazy. I don't want to even believe it, but maybe JJ gets in this year and maybe it's really hard to say this, but maybe you see something this year. And maybe you'll have a JJ Arcega-Whiteside jersey on this year.
Good luck with that. I think if DK Metcalf would have been on, it wouldn't have mattered. That dude eats lightning and craps thunder. Okay, that guy was a freak. You have to draft him there. If I don't care how Doug would have mismanaged him, I think he's so good it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh God, it's gonna be. It might be. I don't know. I don't know. I'm afraid. And and honestly, we have to go to another step of the whole who makes the final 53. Like, obviously there was a lot of lying going on because Nick said that Howie's handling the draft, which was total baloney. Okay, so does Howie have full control of this final 53, or is there a collaborative effort with this final 53?
Well,
I would hope so.
I think he said it was going to be a collaborative effort, but he got final say. I think of the last 3 slots, he's got final say. I think that's what the agreement is. Or Sirianni gets control of game day roster, which Doug had no control of. But I think the last 3 the last 3 spots, Howie has final say, which is dangerous because he could say, "Well, I like this guy because he was a second-round pick," or "We're not paying this guy as much money."
Right. No, I true. I mean, I don't know. I always try to come up with a positivity out of it, see if there is something that maybe comes out of it, because I feel like, the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside stuff, if he makes the roster, it's like, I feel like it's going to be more of a Howie thing. Like, we really need to give him a chance. We need to see what he has this year. And if he does make it, I'm telling you right now, he better be right.
It's total Howie thing. I will blame Howie 100% right away. I haven't even seen Whiteside do anything the last 2 weeks of I don't even know how this guy could make the team. I really don't. Look, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong and he's gone. But I'm just saying, I'm reading the tea leaves and it don't look good.
Yeah. We got 146 people in the chat. Appreciate being here. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We go over the Eagles all year round, live streams, everything. We cover the Eagles every single day of the week. If you guys haven't subscribed to Philly 500, subscribe to him. His link is in the description below. We do the Philly Shakedown podcast. This is our 17th episode, which we're very happy that we come together and talk about Eagles news and rumors every single week. And kind of just, there's nothing, everything's scripted. We kind of just go with the flow with everything. We're going to be during the season. We're going to be doing 2 Philly Shakedown podcasts. We're going to do one on Saturday night, and then obviously when the game is on Sunday. I mean, we'll figure out the primetime games, what we do there. But for the Sunday games, we'll be doing a late stream Philly Shakedown as well. So guys, definitely subscribe to both of our channels. Check it out when the time comes. We like to have fun. If anyone's up late at night, we're going to be talking Eagles. So
don't you frown. It's Philly Shakedown. Shout out to Joe Castro too for that awesome intro, dude.
Yeah, I have Joe Castro. Philly, the podcast. I have his link in the description below. He's the one that made the intro for us, and we can't thank him enough. He actually went to the preseason game, and I felt really bad that he went. He was so excited to see all this stuff that was this clickbait stuff that was supposed to happen for this game Thursday, and there's so many videos on YouTube right now. People at the game. And then seeing Joe Flacco come out on the field because half the people had no idea what was going on.
I think Devonta Smith didn't even know Flacco was going to play until he was in the huddle. Like it was like that last second thing, It was weird. The whole thing was weird.
Ohana Means Family says, Nick Foles to the Eagles rumors seem to be swirling around again. And we lost Philly 500. Come back. And wait till he gets in here quick. Nick Foles to the Eagles. I gotta check that out. I haven't looked at too much news today, besides my troll job today that I love doing. But I don't even know if that's even gonna be possible. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, you're gonna have to give up a draft pick most likely for that. I'm still waiting on 500. I don't know where he went. His internet might have. The embassador says, let's hear, with the super chat, let's hear the bat. He's not here right now. He'll be back in a second. He'll be back here in a second. He'll be back in 2 seconds. Let me see where he's at. Oh, he just disappeared. He's not coming back. I don't know what happened to him. I'll come back to that. Though. He'll be back. Ohana says, I just saw an article. I don't know how true this is. If you trade for Nick Foles, you're going to have to give up a draft pick for that. You know what I mean? You're going to have to give up a draft pick. It might be, they actually offered us Nick Foles this offseason, earlier this offseason. If you guys remember that when we were talking about Carson Wentz trade to the Bears were in talks with us about a trade for Carson Wentz, but it didn't happen, obviously. And, we just didn't want him back. What is going on?
I don't know what the hell happened.
So...
Let's hear the Bad Dog song. Bad Dog is a bad dog. Cause he knows the Giants always stink. They go.
Now, someone that's Ohana Means Family says that there was an article about Nick Foles if you remember when we were trying to deal Carson Wentz, I remember we did talk to the Bears about it. They actually offered us Nick Foles, and the Eagles declined on it. Obviously, you're gonna have to give up a draft pick. It's probably not going to be much. It'll probably be something, but at the same time, I don't know how much the Eagles think of this backup quarterback. I mean, Nick Mullins. I mean, we don't even have to get into that. I mean, that's just Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins is
brutal. He's absolutely brutal.
I mean, it was even Thursday. I mean, he played horrible the past 2 games. What, 3 picks already? 4, whatever it is. He loses the football, and he loses it very casually. It drops, and he kind of just looks at the ground and says, "Oh, I got to pick this football up." he picks it up real slow. I don't know. Mullins, I was really surprised. I didn't think he was great, but at least I thought he would give us some good looks. I mean, he's got a veteran arm. I mean, he's got experience, but I mean, he looks that bad.
I'll say this. That one play looked like he was starting to run out, put the ball down, and then tried to run away from the ball and tripped over his foot. That's how bad it looked. I think he's horrible. And I didn't watch a lot of the Niners last year. The only time I watched them really was when we played them, and he was bad in that game too. So I never thought he was really going to be decent at all.
Yeah.
But he's bad,
Yeah, horrible. Keeping It 100 says we need to get rid of Flacco and Mullins and go and get Mariota as our backup quarterback. Bring Newman back.
Mariota. Yeah, I would have no problem with that.
Yeah, and on top of it, even when Newman was cut, and then that's when they brought in Mullins.
Should have kept Newman. Should bring him back.
Because, I mean, they said he did well during the OTAs. His throwing looked good. I mean, I think he had some accuracy issues, but, I mean, I don't know if the guy can move in the pocket. He's like another Carson Wentz type body. He's a big body, so he could move around, but I'm not really sure.
My prediction is they keep both quarterbacks.
Yeah, they could. I mean, you're going to keep. I mean, you're look. Do you honestly think they're keeping 3 quarter? They're going to keep 3 quarterbacks this year?
I think they keep 3.
Why?
Because you always keep 3 quarterbacks. I mean, why did you keep 3? If you lose your starter, then who's the backup?
Flacco's the backup, and then you're going to have to move.
Starter, if Flacco becomes a starter, then you have nobody.
Well, then you got to then you move Nick up to active roster, and then you sign somebody else. I mean, that's how you could do that.
Nick who? Mullins?
Yeah.
But you got to keep. Well, what I'm saying, you got to keep him on your team, though. As an active, if you're talking about active game day roster, yeah, fine. You only have to have 3.
Right.
You can only dress 2, but you got to keep 3 on the roster.
Right. Oh, yeah. Comments on the Super Chat says, I hope JJ does not make the team. I'd rather have Michelle.
Yeah, it just looks like he's, he's outside looking in,
There was rumors about JJ. Well, not rumors. I think this is true because I think he did talk about JJ went to some I guess he went back to how he used to train back in college. You probably don't want to hear. You don't even want to hear any of this, don't you? So am I wasting my time? But he wanted to train. I guess he wanted to go back. I don't know. He wanted to go train back the way he used to train back in college. He changed some things around. I don't know. He stopped using the umbrellas and he started actually, playing football. So
he told mommy, "Stay home. Don't bring the umbrella." I mean, I don't know what he can do, really.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything that makes me say, you know what, there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
There's something there if you stick with this guy and give him time. There's guys that you can see and you can look at and you can go, you know what, this guy has something. Quez Watkins, perfect example. He wasn't ready to start or anything last year, but you could watch him last year and say there's something there that you can develop with this guy. I haven't seen it in Arcega-Whiteside at all.
Yeah. We got Dan Big Blue says Nick Sirianni, wide receiver 1.
No,
Sirianni
is a stud.
Nick Sirianni.
Look, the one thing that came out of the other night, the one good thing you can say is that Devonta Smith is the real deal. Mm-hmm. I don't see how anybody can think that when you watch this guy run routes. I don't care about the drop balls. Those happen. That guy is the real deal.
I wasn't hearing good things about Jamar Chase at all.
Well, did you see that he played horrible?
Yeah, he didn't play well.
He literally was dropping, but he looked scared. One ball he dropped looked like he didn't want any part of it. Okay, like, yeah, I mean, look, everybody said that he was better than Devonta Smith. I kept saying I have Devonta Smith slightly ahead of Jamar Chase. And
Remember
and then because of the size, I say, okay, you can give. I understand why you take Chase because of size, but Devonta Smith to me is way better route runner.
Oh yeah. And that's what I think bringing Nick Sirianni here was. I mean, that's a Nick Sirianni pick. I mean, I don't believe Howie trading back from 6 to 12 thinking that I don't know. I feel like Howie had control at the beginning and said, okay, there's an opportunity to get a first round pick, so we move back from 6 to 12. We'll get the first round pick, and we're still there. We're still fine. We can get a prime player. It doesn't matter. He says this PR stuff, but the next step was that trade that happened, and I don't know how it worked. I don't know how he didn't give up more than he had 2 third-rounders, and you gave up the furthest third-rounder that you had, the latest third-round pick, and not give up, not even get fleeced in the process, and you make the trade. It works.
Imagine was on the Giants right now, and you're watching them. That would be scary. That would be very scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. I mean, pretty much Sterling Shepard would be down on the depth chart right now.
He wouldn't be fighting in camp. He wouldn't be getting arrested.
Call cops on.
Joe Judge arrested him.
He got him arrested.
Everybody believed that was like real. That's what they really think that you really thought that. They don't know you were trolling.
I don't know why. Like, I tried to be as serious as I possibly could in that video and I don't know. People are like, oh, it's fake. Oh, it's fake. I'm like, obviously, I even put the tweet up. The tweet didn't have a check mark next to it. It wasn't from. It was a fake tweet, and people, I don't know. People
Whoever
still believed it.
Guy that tweeted that is funny as shit though. That was great.
I wouldn't have thought of that, period. I wouldn't have thought of that. Ohana says, do you see Hurts and Smith staying in Philly for the long run?
I see Smith staying in Philly for a long run. I think if Hurts goes out and performs like we think he can, I think he will. But I think, based upon what we've heard, and I don't know for certain, but it sounds like with Hurts, the jury's still out with the Eagles front office. So we'll see, But yeah. I think Smith is here longer.
West K says, heard anything about Kyle Pitts?
I heard Kyle Pitts was banged up. That's what I heard. I don't even know if he's playing week 1. So yeah. I think he's a little banged up.
I mean, with Kyle Pitts playing tight end now, I mean, you have Calvin Ridley, and I don't really know who the other receivers. I haven't really looked at their roster at all. But, that's a team that's definitely rebuilding, and obviously, new head coach.
Pitts is going to be good. I have no doubt he's going to be a good player. It just, it's just if he's hurt and if he's slow, it may have a slow start. Could have a slow year. I don't know. Like I said, you can't judge guys after 1 year.
Right.
You just can't.
Jess Davis says, Devonta Smith route running is absolutely unreal. Did anyone see Chad Johnson tweets about how good he runs routes? I didn't see that. I saw that.
Chad Johnson was tweeting. It was going off about his footwork and his route running.
Because weren't they the same size back in the day? Wasn't Chad Johnson the same size?
Chad was a little taller, but I'm not sure. But Chad was really thin when he came out too. I think he came out 175.
What's going on here? Ty Jordan says, talks on Twitter about Beckham trade, talks to the Eagles and Reagor in trouble. Check at QE's Twitter.
Who's QE's Twitter?
I don't know. You got your laptop next to you?
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, check that out. Might as well check it out together.
Let's see. I don't know who that Twitter is. What? What am I laughing at? Is it a joke?
No, I just read. The same guy that did the so that Wesley Steinberg, right? He put crazy scene at practice today for the Jets as the defensive end Carl Lawson was taken away injured on a cart. Carl Lawson has an ACL or he's out for the whole year. In a wild twist of events, Giants head coach Joe Judge showed up at Jets practice and demanded Lawson ran laps, which led to his injury.
That's hilarious. Well, the Queez I got the Queez Twitter up.
Okay.
This is also a joke. It says breaking: Eagles wide receiver Jalen Reagor speared Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni through the practice kicking net for lighting into him during training camp. Browns wide receiver Odell Beckham has requested a trade to the Eagles in a result to Reagor showing his love to kicking the net. That's good. That's definitely. I'm going to make a video right away about that because that's real. That's real.
Comments are at the super chat says, do you honestly think Fulgham could get cut? He's actually proven to be a playmaker, and he's always had quiet camps, but always proved on the field.
I don't want to think so, but when I start hearing Fulgham is disappointing them in practice, and this is what's being reported, then you hear that Arcega-Whiteside looks very good. Then I look at the snap count, and I'm like, why is Arcega-Whiteside only getting 8 snaps, and Fulgham getting a lot more? Is that because that he's higher on the depth chart? So it makes me wonder. I mean, they invested a second-round pick in Arcega-Whiteside. They picked up Fulgham off waiver wire.
Yeah, so is he higher on the depth chart, or is he not playing well? That's what we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But it worries, it scares the crap out of me. That's why I hope Fulgham goes out and has just a huge game.
So, Jim, how concerned are you guys after the preseason blowout against New England Patriots on a scale of 1 to 10?
4.
I was going to say a 4 or 5. Yeah,
a 4.
I mean, it's nothing alarming.
I'm concerned about the depth at defense.
Yeah.
Some defense that scares me, but the points and the way the game went out, it doesn't scare me because, like I said, the Patriots played their starters and their whole offensive line the first 3 series of the game, which they scored points each one of them. The Eagles, they played backups.
Yeah, no, I mean that's where. I mean, I wanted to see more from some of these guys on the defensive line, but I mean, I couldn't even, Matt Leo, and I mean, as much as the snaps that they did get, I mean, at the end of the day, they were on the field the whole entire game. I mean, the defense played the whole game. I mean, there was just nothing there.
Right.
So that's how far it kind of went. But I think we're good for tonight.
Cool.
I think we're good. Yeah, guys, we appreciate everybody coming in tonight. 247 people. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Guys haven't liked the stream up and subscribe to Philly 500 if you guys haven't. His link is in the description below. The Philly Shakedown Podcast, episode 17. Every Saturday, we will have the Philly Shakedown Podcast until the regular season. Then we will have Sunday night, another Philly Shakedown Podcast. Saturday night, another Philly Shakedown Podcast. So there's going to be 2 more on the weekend once the season starts. So it should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. So
absolutely.
Hold on. We got a super chat from Barrow. Says, Watkins jersey or Smith? I'm trying to decide.
I got to go with Smith. I mean, I'm very tempted with Watkins because I really think that, he's a sleeper that I really liked all along. So I want to do one. But if I had to choose Devonta Smith, I have to go with Devonta Smith.
I do the same. Then Brad Wright says, Mark Holmes put 2 blue out again over the Texans, taking lead on the girls. What?
He did it again? No, did somebody screen record it? Did he really do it again? Oh my God! Did you ever see that meltdown?
No,
dude. I when I say like taking out one Cowboys fan at a time, I took like 4 out that day at once. I by accident gave out Mark Holmes' phone number during the stream, and everybody started calling him. And then we're all mad. They all started fighting. 2 Blue goes after Mark. Michael Anthony wears the fitness. Mark starts getting offended. They're pushing each other. They're yelling, screaming.
Oh no!
And I'm like, and people are like, "You caused all this," and I'm sitting back going, "Oh my God!" It was an accident too. I didn't mean to do it, but
yeah,
I did it.
So Matt Ruiz, the super chat says, so Watkins it is. He's gonna go to total. All right, so he loves what?
Take any of my advice.
He just people love Quez Watkins out. They were starting to see.
Yeah.
We're starting to see what he really is. I mean, I go back to it. I say it a million times. I was more of a John Hightower fan than a Quez Watkins fan, and people told me, they were like, "Wait till Quez gets his chance. Wait till he's put in a good system and gets his chance." And now we're seeing it. Seeing it.
I love Quez.
You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Appreciate everybody coming in. Next Saturday, we'll be back on. We have another Saturday left this month, right?
Yeah.
Right until next. I think we do, right? Let me check the calendar
today?
just to make sure. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
We have at least
one more week.
Yeah.
One more week left. So, if you guys haven't, we're going to, we'll be on Philly 500's channel next week. Obviously go over joint practices for the Jets and obviously the Jets Eagles and what we're doing. Are they starting players? Who they're benching? I don't know. That's going to be the big question of the week. And is this team prepared for the regular season and obviously the final roster cuts? So there's going to be a lot to talk about next week.
There's cuts Tuesday, right? We got cuts on Tuesday.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
It's going to be. I don't think we're going to get the. Obviously, we're probably going to see like the guys that we know they're going to go, and then once the days go by, there are going to be some tough decisions. I mean, for us, they're not tough.
That's the question.
Yeah, and then we have to watch for the waiver wire guys because there are going to be some productive guys on the waiver wire, so you got to watch out. You always get like a gem off the waiver wire. So if there's a position they need badly, that produced very well for a preseason of another guy from another team, they can always pick someone off the waiver wire. Could be a gem. You never know. That's a really important thing as well.
Absolutely.
So,
agreed.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys later. Subscribe to the channel. Like the stream if you guys have it. Subscribe to Philly 500. Link below before you guys leave. Philly, the podcast as well. He did our intro for us. He's another Eagles content creator. His link's in the description too. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We will see you guys later on the next episode of the Philly Shakedown. See you guys later.
Peace.
Shakes, what up, Flawless Live. Peace out, guys. Peace.